This is actually more stunning than I thought it would be. The first time I heard Wang Wang say, "You've been nominated," I thought to myself, there's just no way that this has happened. Because in my life, I kind of consider myself sort of part of that anti-hero collective. And so, before I get going, because I was actually prepared for about 20 minutes, and I'm going to narrow it down for you. But before I get going, I do have to say thank you. Thank you to all of you for even being here and doing this. Thank you to the Center for being a resource that has helped me in my career and personal life. I got to thank my wife for putting up with me 24/7, 365, 12 years. My kids for sharing time. Wang Wang. You two, just for being in the world and doing what you do. My former boss, my current boss, circle keeper, circle friends. I see you all in here and I love you. I love you all. And I got here to share this with you by way of a long, circuitous, is that the right way to say it? Path. You see, as you can tell, I'm not much of a straight shooter. I don't believe in it. And that's not like this multiple roads to California. That's the truth of the matter. I firmly believe in that. And so I got to take you on a little bit of a story, winding path journey so that you can understand why I'm standing here in front of you today, sharing this. Today I had the amazing honor to sit down with a woman named Julie Chakai, who is the daughter of a man named John Chakai, who was an amazing saxophonist who graced the face of this planet. He played with the likes of John Coltrane. Go find the Ascension album. He's on that album. I got to work with John for 3 years. To meet his daughter and to hang out with her today was absolutely wonderful. We lost John about 2 years ago, 78 years old. It brought me back to so many lessons that John taught me. You know, as a musician, you like to think, you know, you're king of the stage, right? And John, who is this jazz musician of excellence, and you all heard I'm a punk rocker to the core, and just so you know, I've already been warned to keep my verbiage clean. If you've ever sat in circle with me, you know. But John taught me one of the most amazing lessons because I needed the lesson in seriousness. I'm on this quest to understand why we don't treat each other the way we want to be treated, but it's all up in my head in a certain way. And I will never forget the day. We were in John's room. We were practicing songs. I was playing my tenor. And I got a solo on this song. But it was a collective solo because part of John's work is this collaborative improvisation, right? You have to share the stage to create something. And that something may be beautiful, but it may be ugly, and it doesn't matter, we're in this together. And on this particular night, on this particular song, which I wanted to play so badly, I was like, I'm going to shine. And so we got into the song, I played my piece, I was the man. And when we finished, you know, I was like, yeah, John, so what'd you think? And John looked at me and he said, you didn't listen to a single thing that Kathleen played. Whoa. That's not what I expected at all. No. I expected to hear that I was dazzling, edgy, innovative. But no, you didn't listen. What a wake-up call. And such is life. I love it. It was that ding. See, I was about to start cursing. It was right there. And I had to actually go back in that room and listen. And I'll never forget that. And it's the same sort of thing that is happening when you're sitting in circle. You are invited to listen. Right? To be able to share that lesson is magical. Now, I also got to tell you, I wore this shirt on purpose. It's blue and white. Those are the colors of the Bush School. And I actually just came down from the mountains where I was sitting in circle with 14 kids who are now really ready to take over the world. And I love being able to help shepherd that. Thank you. Thank you. I actually had a run-in with Frank where I had to work on him for 2 years to let this happen. And he did it. To Frank's credit, he actually let it happen. And we're doing beautiful things there, thanks to the center's help. I'm going to take you back a little step, but I'm going to bring you forward another step. I get to do this work at this school, and I am telling you, it's hard work. It is hard, sometimes thankless, miserable, exhausting work, and I love it. I might not always say I love it, but in the core of my heart, I love it because it's actually real. You get to see people have that little flash of, oh, I'm sorry, I just didn't hear you. I wasn't listening. And that is the beginning of relationship building. Not the relationship building of, oh yeah, we're friends and I think the world of him or her, but the relationship building of from the heart, right? So I come to this place because of a pathway that was also laid down by a man named T.J. Vassar, who some of you may know. I had the wonderful fortune of working with T.J. Vassar. Sometimes it starts to get kind of teary. This has been an emotional day. I had the chance of working with T.J. Vassar at Lakeside. We also lost him too recently. And TJ taught me something that, again, I knew, but maybe I knew in an intellectual sense. The power of relationships. TJ was a walking heart who gave his life to help others. And he did it with humility and compassion. And I knew that's what I have to do. That's how I have to be. That's what this is all about. And thanks to TJ, who saw that I was hungry. He saw that I wanted to do this. He helped pave the way. He actually wrote me a really nice letter so that Frank would look at me with really sweet eyes and offer me a job. And for this, I'm eternally grateful. So I land at Bush. And for 4 years now, I've been able to do this work with humility, integrity, honesty. And I like to lead from the back because everybody else around me, I want to shine. I can't shine without you. I wear this shirt for another reason. It's another story. And it connects me directly to the Center for Ethical Leadership. And to that same sense of leadership that we've heard multiple times tonight. I was at the center for a meeting about Circle, and it was a long, hard meeting. We were working really hard trying to figure out how we're going to bring this to people in a good way. And I get kind of in my world and I get to going, like, let's make things happen. Let's grind on this. Let's work. Let's do. And I got to thinking and doing. And some folks know that I have this ability to bend time, although that's starting to get stretched more and more. And so I was bending time by saying, I don't have to be at my next engagement for another 10 minutes. I can make it. But of course, when you bend time, you forget things. And the thing that I had forgotten was that my next meeting was at the Seattle Tennis Club, and I was wearing a punk rock t-shirt at the time. And I knew I couldn't really walk in there. I mean, I could, but I was trying to make a good impression. We were interviewing for something. I can't even remember. It was high level, board stuff. So I started to panic, thinking, okay, I know I can bend time, but can I bend time well enough to make it from the center all the way back to Maple Leaf so that I can get a shirt and then make it back to the tennis club? Can I do this? I can do this. I can do this. And when I was laying out my plans, this guy with a mustache said, "Here, you can have my shirt." And I was like, "You're crazy." And he said, "No, seriously, you can have my shirt." And he went into his office, he took off his shirt, came, and he gave it to me so that I could go to the Seattle Tennis Club looking halfway decent. That man was Dale Nenow. Gotcha!
Did you wear the punk rock t-shirt?
Oh yes! Oh yes! That's the spirit that the center houses to this day. And Wang Wang, I see that skirt you're wearing tonight. I'm just saying. But that spirit is the spirit I want to be around. That's the spirit that I want to spread. That's the spirit I want to embody. When I think about ethical leadership, when I think about any of this stuff, you know, again, like I said, I'm kind of an anti-hero guy. But when I think about leadership and all that, I got to go back to the guidelines, right? Who are the guidelines for? If you sat in a circle, you know the guidelines are for you. How am I with these guidelines? How am I leading myself in this world so that I can be good, so that I can serve? That's what this is all about. So I thank you all for this honor. I could go on and on, bless you. But I won't. But because I do have a musical bend in me, you can't get away from a little song. It'll be a little one. And really it's just a verse which I think kind of encompasses all of this. It's from a song I wrote called Platforms. The last verse goes, "Hello, my stances. Gotta make life better for my fellow humankind. Hello, my stances to elicit a smile from anyone doing the grind. Hello, my stances. I can't make it through this without your helping hand. Hello, my stances. We can make a better world if we intertwine our minds." So what's your stance? Thank you.